And My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue. And welcome to this Thursday edition of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry about the camera angle, trying to get some of those things worked out. But for now, it will work. So on this Thursday edition, we're going to be talking about who Brian O'Connor has brought in thus far in the transfer portal. And kind of look at an overview thus far on if the guys he's brought in will kind of be sufficient, but also what is remaining for Mississippi State and what else do they have to look forward to in terms of positions that need to be filled. And while State has really done well, the number one transfer portal class in the nation at this moment, there's still some things to work on. And so we're going to cover that today in the episode. And then towards the end of our episode, we're going to talk about Mississippi State and their recruiting. And you know, that side of things is very different than baseball. Like football is just dealing with all kinds of issues, just in terms of quality, I think, compared to where they have been, but also like in terms of quality compared to other teams in this conference. You know, like if State was in a different conference, if State had a different schedule, these things might work. But as it stands right now, State has a lot to work on. So we're going to cover that and more. I did want to mention that very, very excited. Our show is credentialed to be at SEC Media Day. So we're going to be there that Wednesday, the day with Kalen DeBoer will be there, Brent Venables, and also Jeff Lebby will be there as well. So we'll be there to ask questions and get to interview players. Really excited about that. But none of that happens without you guys being willing to watch and to listen. And so I just want to say thank you guys so much for doing that. And thank you so much for just for the support. I really do appreciate it. And just on this little sliver of the corner of Mississippi State athletics and of sports, I really do appreciate you guys so much for listening. So really excited to cover that in July in Atlanta at the Omni. So it's going to be a good time, and of course we'll get you guys a lot of content from that. But first, we want to let you know that this show and every show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Heath Riles Barbecue. Heath Riles is home to award-winning rubs, seasonings, sauces, glazes, marinades, and injections. It was created by 2025 Memphis in May Grand Champion and an 81-time Grand Champion, Heath Riles. His products are trusted by pitmasters and backyard cooks alike for bold flavor and winning results. Just this week, I used Heath's beef rub on some ribs, and I actually threw not ribs, on some ribeyes, and I threw them on the Blackstone, and they were phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think I'll share the picture on my Twitter, so you can check that out. They were so good. But here's the deal: you can go to 15,000 retailers nationwide to get Heath's products, or you can just go to HeathRilesBarbecue.com and type in promo code DAWGS10 DAWGS10 at checkout, and you will get 10% off. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. Hey, do you like my hat? Do you like several of the hats that we've had in the background? Do you like this hat and many, many more? Well, that is due to Hovey. Want to thank Hovey for being a sponsor of the show. Are you looking for your new favorite Mississippi State hat? Look no further. Hovey hats are high-quality headwear that will have you and your friends asking about them. So take a look at their collection of Mississippi State hats at HoveyDryGoods.com, HOVI drygoods.com. Hovey offers limited edition hats in small batches, bringing a fresh look to some of your favorite teams. So grab your new favorite hat at HoveyDryGoods.com. Certainly appreciate them. And also, hey, want to thank our sponsors over at ARPA's, our caffeine sponsors, what I like to call them. They keep us going, man. ARPA's understands that great food and drinks are best enjoyed in the company of friends and loved ones. And their great, awesome atmosphere creates a great backdrop for laughter, conversation, and shared memories. Whether you're seeking a good spot to catch up over coffee, a lively gathering spot to celebrate special occasions, all the above, ARPA's has you covered, man. And so go to ARPA's. Jose and his family would love to take care of you. It's located in the heart of the Cotton District, the best part of town. And here's the deal. We'll get you 15% off each and every time you go, just by entering or by letting them know you would love the 15% off MyDawgsPod promo. And they'll give you 15% off today, tomorrow, the next day, for your caffeine, for your food, for everything. And so, man, sure to appreciate ARPA's. Make sure you go to ARPA's because you are missing out. LSU's won the national championship, won the College World Series. And now the dust is starting to settle in terms of where players are going. The portal certainly has gotten full. And since then, Mississippi State holds the number one overall ranking in the transfer portal. And Brian O'Connor has done a really, really good job at getting talent. Now, the question will be, can he evaluate the talent? Does he do a good job of that? That's something on the other side to see. But thus far, he's done a really good job of bringing guys in, and in fact, just over the past 2 days, has also brought in another two other pitchers. And it was funny. I was talking with a friend today, and he mentioned that, I guess State is just expecting to strike everybody out because that seems like they've got some holes to fill in the infield, and shortstop being the biggest one, of course. But so far, and that is partially true. It seems like the outfield is pretty set for State. I mean, you have Bryce Chance out there, you have Aiden Teal being out there, James Nunnally. You would expect to be out there as well. So you would think like that side is pretty fixed. Of course, State got their catcher, Kevin Malowski, the other day from Seton Hall, the 180 overall ranked person according to 64 Analytics. Then you have the first baseman, Blake Bevis, takes Hunter Hines' spot, and he's a guy who can hit some home runs. Hit 17 home runs this season. He's getting he's talented enough that the MLB draft is a question mark. Like that might be something that he never even arrives at State because of where he gets drafted. We'll see. There's actually a couple of these guys that fit that kind of mold. But if you can't get him, you also got Vitas Valanciunas from Illinois, who's the number 17 overall transfer. Now, you got his brother, and he is a player that is in the top 5 for overall transfers, Thomas Valanciunas. He was a left-handed pitcher from UVA. Had some really, had people very excited about him going forward there in Charlottesville. I was going to see if I could pull up in real time where he had. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So Thomas was the brother because he's a brother. Just had his freshman year, and his brother is Vitas, who's at Illinois, and Thomas was at UVA this year, and he was an All ACC freshman selection. He went 6-1 in starting appearances. He had 13 appearances, or 6-1 in games. Had 13 appearances, but he was second on the team with 70 strikeouts in 64 innings. Then he only had 17 walks. Really, really remarkable. He actually led UVA in ERA. Opposing batting average of people going up against him was 256. He had the most runners picked off, and he also had the most wins in UVA this past season. He also ranked 4th nationally among freshmen with a strikeout to walk ratio of 4.1. So he's a guy that has he can go pretty long too. He went back in May, went six innings in versus Virginia Tech. And so he's a guy with a lot of talent that I think State's really excited about to be one of the weekend starters for the Bulldogs. Then you look at some other guys. So I'm just going to mention just a few that kind of stand out. Jackson Logar from James Madison. He's the 66th overall in the portal. Tyler Pitzer. I really, really like him. The right-hander, 65 overall in the transfer portal. He's a guy that really, really intrigues me. He was another one of the guys that was with Justin Parker there in South Carolina. And this season, his sophomore season, he's a smart guy. Had made the SEC honor roll several times. Had 32 strikeouts and 28 innings pitched. Was 4-0 as a starter and also had a save. I really, really like him. Now, his ERA was a little more inflated in his sophomore year as opposed to his freshman year. But there's a couple of those games that really started to blow up his ERA. That's going to be a good reason why for a lot of it. But I really like him being able to be there. And then today on Thursday, Brendan Sweeney from South Carolina committed to Mississippi State as well. So 2 former South Carolina pitchers are coming to Starkville. Sweeney had a team best 6 saves on the season. He struck out 34 batters in 25 innings. His best game, ironically, was actually against Mississippi State. He struck out 4 batters and had 3 hitless innings and picked up a save over Mississippi State, and State could not hit him. Had some trouble. And same thing, like his ERA is bad. It's not kind of bad. It's bad. It's 8+. But it's inflated a little bit. But overall, I mean, that's got to come down, of course. So I like that. William Kirk is another guy from UVA who is coming to Mississippi State. He did not play last season, but he is coming in from Virginia. And as I mentioned, he was the Virginia High School Gatorade Player of the Year in New Jersey. And really, really remarkable to see his numbers. I mean, it's high school, so what are you going to do? But Went 5-0, had a 0.2 ERA, struck out 62 batters in 32 innings. He also batted almost 500 and had 9 home runs and 38 RBIs. Overall, he was the number 1 left-handed pitcher and the 6th overall player in the state of New Jersey, coming out of high school in 2024. So I really, really like him. He's a guy that can throw the ball with some real heat, real heat. I'm really excited about seeing him. And then, as you look, there's several other players that are kind of just brought in terms of the bullpen. Maddox Webb is in there from the Citadel. And seen so like there's a number of those guys. Him, Webb, and Logar, and Logar's a better prospect overall, but both are guys I'm really interested to see that might be kind of a boom or bust situation. But see, then you go to the other side of that. So take away the pitching. I think the outfield for Mississippi State has an opportunity to be one of the best defensive outfields it's been in a long time. The best player that State's got in the portal to me is Aiden Teal. And Aiden Teal defensively, his glove is so good out in center. I mean, he's versatile. He can play several different spots. But if you watched him play, or if you even now, you can go back and watch highlights, it's really remarkable, like the skills he has. And then on top of that, I mean, he hits the ball really well. And then James Nunnally is a guy that is going to be in the outfield also, is the 25th overall player in the portal. And Nunnally is a guy that, in terms of statistics, in terms of striking out, not striking out, is one of the better in the nation. He batted .296. He was 42 of 142 appearances, 12 doubles, 26 RBIs. But here's the biggest part. He ranked as the hardest player to strike out in the ACC with a K rate of 10.9. Really, really hard to get out, or to strike out, rather. I really, really like him. He battles at the plate. And so State's brought in a lot of really good players from that side, obviously for a lot of good players from Virginia. But State's got to get that shortstop situation figured out. And that's kind of the big question mark. You wonder, okay, who is it they're going to bring in for that spot? Ole Miss is hosting the Murray State transfer this weekend. And so there's no lined up. There's no visit lined up for Mississippi State for him, from what I understand. But that's one position they really cannot afford to get wrong. And they brought in Ryder Woodson from NC State to be an infielder, but not, he's not going to take he's not going to be your starting guy at shortstop. So that's a big position State's got to fill. I mean, again, they're doing really good things for the bullpen. I really, really like that. I do hate that Eric Becker from Virginia is not a player that Brian O'Connor could get. I don't know why exactly, that happened that way, but that's just the kind of the case. TJ Pompey from Texas Tech entered the portal. Pompey did really, really, really well for Texas Tech this past season, batting .358, had 15 RBIs. But you'd assume it'd be A&M being there in state. I don't think A&M has their shortstop deal kind of figured out just yet. So anyway, that's one position State's got to figure out. But in terms of outfield and first base, like, State's doing really good there. I think State's got the center position all figured out. Kevin Milowski is a really good catcher. From the defensive side of things, State, no offense to the starting catcher last season, State definitely is going to be a step up for what they had last year. Milowski's got a really good arm, and I like that, but he also has a fantastic bat. So big guy though, 6'5". He's gonna have several. I think he's just finished his sophomore season. He's 6'5", and that being the case, like being able to be a catcher is a little, like, kind of makes you a little nervous. But overall, he did really well. This season, I like what they have, and I'm trying to figure out what his home run total was, because I had it in front of me not too long ago. Yeah, okay, so that's exactly it. So Kevin Milowski hit the third most home runs in Seton Hall history since 1987. So 16 home runs. He hit .303. I love that for Mississippi State. So the batting position is better than it was last season. But State does have to figure out the shortstop deal, and maybe shore up second base. But also, like I mentioned, you got to also hope that Blake Bevis, from the transfer from Ball State, actually comes to play first base for you. If not, Like, again, I know you got Vitus and from Illinois, the other brother. And so that's good. But it would be nice to kind of shore up first base and know you have those spots, kind of settled. Just I will mention some career highs from Vitus this past season. So he's a he's all Big Ten second team last year. He can play in the outfield and play first base. But 348 can really, really hit the ball well. In his time there, he had 21 multi-hit games at Illinois. He had 12 two-hit games, which actually led the team this season for Illinois. And his 348 average ranked 10th among all Big Ten batters. And so really, really neat. What's kind of cool is that after February 14th, his average never dipped below 300. Really, really remarkable. He led Illinois in average, hits, and doubles. He was their best player swinging the bat. So really, really excited for that and for the people that Mississippi State has brought in. Now, the other side of things for Mississippi State that is not so good is what's happening in football. And when we come back, we're going to talk about that and talk about who Mississippi State's brought in and all the work that they have to do, because there are some concerns, to say the least. So we'll be back and to talk about those messages here in just a little bit. But we're going to let you know about our other sponsor, man. And look, we're talking about Jeff Lebby, and can he get to can he be able to get to a new contract? Can he get his contract extended? If he does that, man, like, he's going to be able to earn some cash. He might even end up being rich. But what does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. Skip Langley is your Batesville, Mississippi, Edward Jones financial advisor, serving clients in the area and across the state. Count on him for financial strategies that can help you support a life you love, because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact him today at 662-563-9843. Together, you can find your rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC. We'll be right back after these messages from MPW Digital. You're listening to My Dogs Pod, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue.
All MPW digital podcasts are brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Parish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it remarkably well. The doctor is introducing their new go-to IPA, Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, dry hopped with a blend of their favorite hand-selected hops from the Yakima Valley in Washington. Dr. Juice's drinkability is sneaky good, considering it clocks in at 6% ABV. The pour glows a rich cantaloupe hue with a thick frosted haze, soft mouthfeel, an aroma and taste that's full of passion fruit, papaya, and blood orange, making it drink like a glass of freshly squeezed juice. They also have Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from Yakima Valley. Expect pungent grapefruit flavors and aromas, tropical fruit, less harsh bitterness than most IPAs. Again, it's Parish Brewing Company. Wherever you get your beer, check out Parish. Make sure that you look for them, because any beer that you get from Parish is going to be absolutely outstanding. Thank you from MPW Digital. We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Company. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural. Made with real fruit, no added sugar, low calories, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit EasyHempCo.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy.
Welcome back to My Dogs Pod, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue on MPW Digital. And, we talked about the good parts of Mississippi State baseball, and having the number one overall rank in the transfer portal is great for baseball. But for football is a lot more dire of a situation. So Mississippi State, after this past weekend, which they brought in several recruits and got several to commit, but State fell to the 40th national rank. They were 22nd, and they fell to 40th. At the moment, they have a total of 23 players committed. So I mean, it's a pretty full class. I mean, I know that they still want to bring some guys in. Of the guys they have committed, there are 4 of them. Or pardon me, there are several of them that do not have another Power 5 offer outside of Mississippi State. And the players that do, that have some other things, it's still just not very impressive. And State got a commitment pickup from Zayon Cotton, the tight end wide receiver blend. He's 6'5", 205 from Grenada. He's a good player. On3 has him as the 20th best player in the state. Other 24/7 has him as the 14th best. I mean, he is a really talented player. Zadon Creation, the wide receiver from Canton, is a 3-star guy. He's a 19th ranked player in the state. And hopefully I said state earlier, not nation. I meant state. And then there's Jadon Taylor, which he's about the 21st best ranked player, but he's another guy who can play wide receiver and also could probably play some defensive back. Then Dalton Toothman is another guy that committed. And so, you have several of these guys, but you just have to wonder, like, what's going on? There's no 4-star, guy. There's just not a lot of excitement. And at least, last season, State had several guys that would make you excited and several guys that would make you, like, obviously, Kamario Taylor is the leader of that class. I mean, Kamario Taylor's should have been a 5-star prospect, but whatever, that's fine. Then you have Tyler Lockhart, Tashawn Willis, Tony Mitchell, Kyle Johnson, Jabriah Stewart, Eve. I mean, like, there were several of these players that you get excited just to see that it brings some sort of excitement going forward. And State just does not have that this season. There's just not players like that to get excited about. And State really, really helped themselves out last season with their transfer portal haul. They got a lot of players in on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, they needed a ton of help, and they got a lot of help. But this season, this is the team at the moment just does not have a lot of things going for it. And here's the biggest problem with that. Like, I keep trying to kind of see, okay, well, what's the big play? Like, okay, well, you're going to try to build some of these guys up and then hit the portal hard. I mean, that's fine, but you have to have some sort of foundation of guys that are going to be good now. And a part of it is because of where college football is. It's just, I know it's annoying, but even some of these guys that are not so great now, think about it. Xavier Thomas coming out of Louisiana, coming to State. Well, by the time after his freshman year, he was already flirting with trying to go back to LSU. I mean, and LSU, I think, had some interest. It just didn't work out. But at this point, Mississippi State there's just not a lot of excitement going forward. And, there's a couple of bigger fish that State still could get. But the problem is, and I heard Robbie Falk was the first one. He was writing about this, and I think he's 100% right. Like, where Jeff Lebby is right now is show me, right? He had that sort of, okay, this is what we could do if you come to State, kind of projection. This is what it might be. And then last season was just so bad. I think a lot of people were saying, well, forget about that. I mean, you want to go, I don't want to go 2-10. What are you, insane? Like, I want to build something. I want to be a part of something that's good. And so State's going to have to do something well on the gridiron this year in order to get some more recruiting attention. And here's the problem. State's schedule is just as hard as it was last season, if not harder. You flip the locations of the games. And so if you go 4-8 this year, and I hate to say this, but 4-8 would be, obviously it's going in the right direction. But if you go 5-7 and really, defy expectations, that would be incredible. But would 5-7 be enough to get some recruits' attention? Like, maybe so. But you can kind of see where we're going. Like, State just has a lot of work to do, and a part of it is by doing well on the football field. And as we've already talked to some people who are from other schools and from other schools that are going to be playing Mississippi State, you just get this sense of people thinking like this thing in Starkville is going off the rails from the outside perspective. But State has the opportunity to turn that around, but they got to get going. And Jeff Lebby's got to get going. I love who they brought in the portal. I think, as I was thinking about this, I think Jeff Lebby, if they can only win 3 games this season, I think Jeff Lebby's going to see the writing on the wall and go and possibly just be like, I don't know if this is possible to do here at this moment where college football is right now. Because of the fact that it's like everything is against them, or many things are against them in several ways. The schedule has always been brutal, but now because of the NIL, it's really brutal because not only can they afford good players, they can now poach good players from other teams and make their teams even better. And I'm talking about the Tennessees and Georgias and Alabamas and those kind of things. Then they can also potentially poach your team, Mario Craver going to A&M. And so you look at all that, and it's concerning for sure going forward. But Jeff Lebby has a great opportunity to start. If you can start the season off, 3-0 and get a win over Arizona State, I think it's going to do so many things for your program. And so there's a lot to build on for Mississippi State. And honestly, there's nowhere to go but up in many ways. It's just this recruiting class is it's just lackluster. And there's some good players that are in it. Don't get me wrong. And how many players from Mississippi State in the past were 2-star and 3-star guys that State molded into to be something really good? The problem is now, if those guys are really good, they're going to be flirting with other teams and wanting to hop into the portal. It's just different than it used to be. And so State's got to figure out where they are on that. Like you might have been able to develop some of those guys in the past, but now like you're going to have to get a good guy and keep him. And in terms of, quality, we'll see how that goes. So, again, baseball is leading the way, but for Mississippi State football, there is a lot to be desired. But let me know what you guys think about the recruiting class if you've taken a look at it thus far. There's some concerning things, but also you never know who's going to come out of this. And, I like Brody McWhorter as a quarterback. He's only a 3-star according to most, I think. Yeah, I think Rivals has him as a 4-star guy, but he's a talented guy out of Georgia, about to have his senior year this year. He is a talented guy, so I like him, and he's been committed now for a couple months. We'll see. State's got a lot of work to do. I've said that many times, but baseball is certainly leading the way for Mississippi State. So hope you have a wonderful weekend, man. I hope you have a good time. Next week, we'll get back to our series where we are previewing a team each week that Mississippi State is going to be facing into the season, where we'll be facing or previewing Northern Illinois. Coach Hammock and company are coming to Starkville, and many of the players from Mississippi State for the football team are already are from Northern Illinois last year that made a good big impact. State got several of those players in the portal, and so really excited to talk about that team because I was so happy to see how they did against Notre Dame last year, and just the reaction of the coach. Like, it was just. So it makes college football awesome, man. So good. So, as always, thank you guys so much for listening to My Dogs Pod on MPW Digital, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue. We'll holler at you next time. Have a good one.